There's a lot to take in while learning how Monster Hunter World works, and one aspect that isn't explained super well is the consumables and their uses. This list compiles all of the craftable and purchasable consumables found in Monster Hunter World. Potions will heal a small amount of health. You can walk or run while healing, but dodging will cancel the effects of the potion. However, it does allow you to escape impending doom. Mega Potions do the same as potions, except they give you twice as much health. First Aid Med Plus can be crafted from the first aid meds you get from the equipment box at base camp. This does the same as a Mega Potion. Also, take note of the little icon on the top right of the first aid med. Any items with this symbol are items that can only be used on a quest and you cannot take home with you. Keep in mind there are some items in that item box at base camp that do not have that symbol, and they will come back home with you when the quest is over. Antidotes heal poisoning. The same rules as potions apply when moving and using this item. Herbal medicine heals poison just like an antidote, but will also restore a small amount of health. Nutrients increase the size of your health bar and heal you a bit. Mega Nutrients do the same as nutrients, but to a greater extent. I tend to use these when I die during a quest. I'll use a couple to increase my health bar again before heading back out. Max Potions maximize your health bar and completely heal you. I try not to use them too often since they're a pretty rare commodity, but I keep them in hand for those clutch moments when you need health quick. They take far less time to consume than potions as well. Catalyst doesn't do anything by itself, but is used to craft together with other materials. Immunizer boosts your healing, so anytime you get hit and you have that red portion of your health bar, Immunizer will make that recover faster. Ancient Potions completely fill your health and stamina bars, as well as increase the size of both bars to full capacity. Life Powder works like a potion, but instead it heals you and your teammates. These are great for multiplayer and keeping your teammates alive. Herbal Powder goes off like a flare of sorts, making a cloud around the user for a moment that cures poison and restores health for anyone that touches it. It's a good way to help out a poisoned teammate. Astera Jerky can't be crafted but can be bought from the provision stockpile and is used to get rid of bleeding damage, which is super handy for monsters like Odogaron. Cool drinks are used to stave off extreme heat, so if you're in an extremely hot area and your health bar starts depleting, crack a cold one open with the boys and you'll be good to go. And Farcasters are used to bring you back to camp for when you run out of supplies or need to get away. And yes, you can just open up the map and teleport back to camp, but a Farcaster allows you to head back to base even in the middle of a battle. Rations are used to increase your stamina bar. Well done steak can be used to increase your stamina bar, more so than a ration. In the field, you can also use raw meat and a barbecue spit to cook up some well done steak on the fly, but if you miss the timing, you get a burnt meat, which will increase your stamina bar, but just not as well as a well done steak will. Energy drink will also increase a portion of your stamina bar and prevent you from falling asleep. For example, if you get caught in Uragan's sleep powder attack, you can pop an energy drink and prevent yourself from passing out. Dash Juice increases your stamina bar completely and makes your stamina recharge much faster. This is a super great item for dual blades or weapons that use up lots of stamina. Might Seed increases your attack a small amount. Demondrug boosts your attack a little bit more. Mega Demondrug does this as well, but to a greater extent. Demon Powder does the same as the last two, it increases attack, but it is released in a cloud so you can buff nearby teammates as well. Might Pill increases attack as well, but this one increases it the most out of all of the attack buffing consumables. Adamant Seed increases defense a small amount. Armor Skin increases your defense more so. Mega Armor Skin increases your defense even more. Hardshell Powder releases as a cloud to buff teammates nearby, and the Adamant Pill increases your defense the most out of all of the defense buffing consumables. And finally, Null Berries are used to get rid of any status effects a monster might have put on you, like Water Blight or Thunder Blight. Gunpowder doesn't do anything on its own, but is used to craft more items. Barrels and large barrels are also used with gunpowder to craft the following items. Large barrel bombs are used to explode things, and they're most effectively used on sleeping monsters. Monsters take extra damage from the first time they are hit when they are sleeping, so having some bombs handy to set off on a monster's face as a wake-up call is always good. They can also be used to set off environmental traps, for example the water basin at the top of the Great Forest. Mega barrel bombs do more damage than large barrel bombs. Barrel bombs are smaller timed bombs that can be used to set off the large barrel bombs. Bounce bombs launch up into the air, they can be used to knock a monster out of the sky. Mega bounce bombs do the same as bounce bombs, but they launch off at a bit of an angle for monsters clinging on walls. Smoke bombs are for when you need a quick hiding spot. Set one off to hide yourself from a monster for some healing or a clean getaway. And poison smoke bombs can be used to poison large monsters, but I find them most useful when gathering Vespoid or Hermitar parts. The poison will kill the bugs without destroying the bodies, like a weapon would, so you can carve them up for their parts nice and easy. For these next items, all you need to do to use them is scroll to them on your item bar and then press the use item button to equip them to your slinger. Flash pods are used to blind and stun a monster. You can use them to stop monsters from flying around a bunch or use them to stop them from big incoming attacks. They'll be stunned for a moment and then continue to attack, but they won't be able to target you, giving you a chance to deal some extra damage. Keep these handy when fighting flying wyverns like Rathalos, since they like to fly around. A lot. Screamer pods can be used to startle monsters. The best example I can think of is with Diablos. When he's underground, you can shoot a well-placed screamer pod and scare him out of the ground, leaving him stuck for a moment. Dung pods are used to make a monster leave the area. If you're sick of other large monsters sprinting in and ruining your hunt, or you just need to fight in a different location, you can shoot them with a dung pod and they'll be on their way. Poison knives are used for shooting at monsters to poison them. Sleep knives are used for shooting at monsters to put them to sleep. Paralysis knives are used for shooting at monsters to paralyze them. Keep in mind, these knives only appear on certain quests and are only available during these quests. Poisoned meat can be planted on the ground, and sometimes a monster will choose to snack on it, and voila, you've got a poisoned monster. Tinged meat works the same way, but paralyzes the monster, and drugged meat will put the monster to sleep. For the most part, this only works if the monster is tired, and it's drooling, and it's hungry. Usually will go off to look for food. If you plant a piece of meat soon enough, the monster might decide to snack on the meat instead. Trap tools are used to combine with other items to create traps. Nets are used to combine with trap tool to make a pitfall trap, whereas thunderbugs are used for shock traps. Shock traps are used to trap a monster. They work the same way as paralyzing a monster would, but you can use Tranq Bombs to put the monster to sleep and end a quest by capturing it. Capturing can only be done once the monster has started limping. Also, shock traps cannot be used on elder dragons. Pitfall traps are used to trap monsters in a hole in the ground. This leaves the face vulnerable and can also be used with Tranq Bombs to capture the monster and end a quest. Tranq Bombs, Tranq Ammo, and Tranq Knives are all used for capturing monsters like mentioned above. Tranq Bombs are thrown directly at the hunter's feet, so you need to be right beside the trapped monster for them to work. Tranq Ammo is used for bow guns, and Tranq Knives are used the same way as the knives mentioned before in the Slinger Ammo section. Coatings are all used for bows. They can be applied to add extra damage or effects to your attacks. Keep in mind, certain bows can only use certain coatings. Empty vials are used to combine with different items to create the following coatings. You can also get 30 free vials every hunt you go on, so I suggest taking those to stock up. Power coating increases damage done, poison coating poisons, paralysis coating paralyzes, sleep coating puts the monsters to sleep, and blast coating builds up over time and explodes on impact, doing extra damage. Whetstones are used to sharpen your weapon. The small knife symbol below your health bar represents your sharpness. Once it gets to yellow or red, you need to use a whetstone to bring your weapon back up to full sharpness to deal the appropriate amount of damage. This also makes your weapon less likely to bounce off any tough-skinned monsters. Boomerangs are used for... honestly, I have no idea what exactly they're used for. I mean, they do a bit of damage, so that's cool, but mostly you would use them for blowing up any barrel bombs you've placed if you don't have other means to do so. Binoculars are used to binocle. The Power Charm and Armor Charm increase your attack and defense respectively just by having them in your pouch. You can buy them from the provision stockpile, though they are a little bit pricey. They can also be improved upon by crafting them together with a certain monster's talons, but I'll leave that to you to discover. And then there are a couple different baits available from the provision stockpile if you need to catch a specific fish. There are also loads of different ammo types that can be crafted or bought and used with bow guns, but that would just be a whole other video and I'm not going to get into it. Okay, that should be everything. If I missed anything, let me know below. Otherwise, I've got a couple tips for managing your items to help you out on your hunts. First off, always eat before going on a quest. This will give you stat boosts, extra health, and extra stamina, so you don't have to waste things like nutrients and rations right off the bat. There are also quests given to you by the cooking cat dude so that you can improve the meals that he makes you. Make sure you organize your items and special equipment. This is done by opening your item pouch and clicking R3. But make sure you also set your item pouch to sort by item pouch so that way you don't have your bug net and your fishing rod in the middle of all your items. You can do this by pressing triangle and then clicking R3. Make use of different loadouts. I tend to have a few different loadouts for different occasions. One for general hunts, one for hard hunts, one if I'm just gathering. Just make sure before you save your loadout, you have your item pouch organized and any items set to your radial menu that you might want. Once you save the loadout, it'll save it exactly as how you have your items in that moment. Loadouts can be created by going to your item box, manage items, and then pressing the options button. The rest of the controls are right at the bottom of the loadout page. Make sure to unlock the ancient tree from the biologist and do his recommended quests for crafting supplies. This allows you to farm items while you're out hunting, like honey or bitter bugs, which are crucial for some of those helpful healing items. Alright, that should be it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this helps out some of the new hunters out there. If you've got any more questions, feel free to ask them below, but if I didn't cover it in this video, I probably didn't even know it existed. Alright, and with that, happy hunting!